But
so Red Eyes wasn't planned.
the what?
Gambit has Red Eyes, so it's Sinister.
Sinister is a 10-year-old boy. Sinister is the kid in the orphanage where Cyclops was raised. That he and Cyclops were good friends when Scott was a kid. The whole point of Sinister is that the boy, his alter ego, part of his mutant power is that he has a lifespan of 1,000 years, but he ages in normal terms. So he's not going to hit puberty until close to 250. He's going to be really pissed. But no one's going to take orders from a 10-year-old. So he built himself an alter ego. A fearsome, strong, powerful, commanding villain. But bear in mind, he's still 10 years old. So he called him Mr. Sinister. And he wears armor, and he's got paint and diamonds in his hair, and he looks like a cool 10-year-old. I mean, go back and look at artists' sketchbooks of stuff they drew when they were 12, and you will find Mr. Sinister, or variations of it. That's why he looks like such a goof. Sorry. And then when I discovered, yes, he's really a 19th century geneticist, I was, oh, for God's sake. How cliche can you get? I mean, the point is to play against the type. I mean, it may have been a dumb idea. It may not have worked. We may have looked at it in 3 or 4 years and said, Chris, what were you thinking? But at the time, it seemed fun. And it was something that hadn't been done before. So I went with it. So looking at it from that context, Sinister / that was the whole point, is that Sinister cloned Gambit to be a grown-up version. This is what Sinister will look like when he's 18. Now he can go out and get the girl. But then the stupid guy developed independence. I mean, I create an organic robot to be my alter ego, and he rebels? Oh, this isn't fair. Therein lies the conflict between the original Sinister and Gambit. Gambit's the one that got away. How dare you go out and have fun that I can't have? And I have to look at it. See, to me, it was all sorts of fun, Oedipal, young brother, older sibling kind of, take that, you swine. And it could have been both dramatic and a little bit funny, silly, which I figured, this is comics, why not? Instead, it turned into something completely different. So, and that's what it is now. It's been around for far too long, and I'm not there in any position to put it back, except in Exiles, where I can make it up all over again and do it right, or what I thought was right. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't work, we'll just leave that world and not come back. Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, because, okay, so you've worked on, X-Men for like 30 years now, so you've worked along like other writers, and so that you're writing Extreme, and Morrison's doing his shit, and I'm assuming it seems that you still read the other X-Men, so what do you think of something like that? Do you think like, well, why didn't I think to do this at some point? Or, well, he's fucking up, but I just spent my life working on it, or like...
No, I don't read the other X-Men.
You don't read the other X-Men?
It's not in any way a judgment of quality or of the skill of the writers. It's just, it's not what I particularly like. And I have not yet seen stories that jump up and say, hey, this is cool, read me. But that's, you keep looking at the books until you find something. I mean, that's always been the case and always will be the case. And I assume sooner or later someone will come along with a vision of the characters and the concepts that, as Frank did with Daredevil, which you look at, I mean, I know exactly how Denny felt. Frank walks in with his first issue of Daredevil, Denny reads it, Denny O'Neil, who at that time had been in the business for about 30 years and was a comic book god, and everybody, he had written Batman and everything else, and now he's an editor at Marvel, and Frank comes in and shows him, and you know, he's editing Daredevil, and he walks down to Shooter's office, throws the script down on Jim's desk, and curses for like 3 or 4 minutes, solid. Jim's sitting there, what's the matter? And Denny is basically trying to say in very short, fundamental terms, I've been in this business 20 years, I work at it hard, I'm good. And this son of a bitch walks in and with his first fucking issue he nails it, pardon my French. And that's what happens. You see somebody who is that gifted and that good, and it doesn't matter that you're gifted and good. What you see is, why can't I be that good? The fact that you are that good, you're just different, doesn't really enter into it. It's just like, you're flabbergasted. And he could draw too, which is really annoying. And if it turns out if he's half as good a director as he is a writer, I'm going to be so pissed. You know, but again, that's the nature of reality. You know, the fun part about those days at Marvel was no matter how good I thought I was on X-Men, Frank would turn in an issue of Daredevil, and I'd read it and I'd think, oh man, I wish I'd done that. So then I'd go home and try and figure out how to beat him, or do something better. But I don't think Frank even gave a one-shot thought about me, per se. But the point is, you read, you measure yourself by the quality of your work as it relates to the quality of the work that you respect and love. And that becomes the benchmark. And it's a case of, well, if he can do that, I can do that. And you aim to do better. And even if you don't quite succeed, the fact that you're still aiming to do better makes you better. And then an issue later, and then Frank goes on and does, you know, Batman, and it's like, okay, now I can really go. So you want to be challenged. You want to get, but you want each issue to be exciting and unique and on its own accord, but especially to be better than the one before, and better than the one after it to be better than this one. You always want to keep moving, and you always want to keep growing, and you always want the audience coming back for more. Otherwise, what's the point?
Fabulous Fashions and Accessories by Anastasia Chatska. Some of it's older stuff. I used to do a lot of purses with comics that are interchangeable. Lately I've been doing fabulous headpieces with little birds. Little birds.
Oh, nice.
Very 50s inspired. It goes along with my new spring-summer line clothing.
Do you have your own shop?
I don't. Right now I have a studio I run out of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So I do everything custom order, or I sell online through Etsy. Like I have my own website, but all my e-commerce is done through Etsy.
Okay.
So Comic Book Syndicate Assemble.
Syndicate.
Syndicate Assemble.
It's tricky, yeah.
Yeah.
Comic Book Syndicate Assemble.